So I just did a video talking about why I think Michael Venom Page should next fight Ian Garry. And I list the reasons why in that video, and I said in that video I wasn't sure if Colby Covington was interested in fighting anytime soon because of the lack of hunger he showed against Leon Edwards. Well, I jumped the gun on that because Colby Covington had just put out this Instagram video calling out Ian Garry, and I have to say, this video, after watching it one time, was enough for me to forget that dismal performance he had against Leon Edwards. It made me forget about just how humiliating and embarrassing it was that he performed that way, because this call out was savage, it was gangster, it was brutal, and I'm just going to play the video. Obviously I've cut out bits that aren't that important, but for the most part I'm going to play the entire video, and because Instagram videos don't fit the entire screen, I'm just going to write my comments as the video is playing on certain things he says and then give my thoughts afterwards, because it was excellent. Here we go.
Greetings, nerds and virgins. It's America's champ, the people's champ, Donald Trump's favorite fighter. We just shot 18 holes at Trump International, West Palm Beach. Now we're out here selling on 7 figures and salty nerd tears. Usually when you're out here, it's all about fishing. Everybody knows when you're going fishing, it's important to have the right bait. So let me teach you all a lesson about how you bait someone. Ian Garry, you translucent cuck. You wanted my attention? Now you got it. Everybody knows why you want to fight me, Ian. I'm the biggest star in the division. It's big city, bright lights, and the most attention and eyes you're ever going to have on you when it fight. But everybody knows, Ian, you missed your chance. You had your chance in December to step on the same stage as me and have a microphone and say whatever you want to say to me. But you were scared. You were scared of what I was going to say to you, and you got the sniffles, and you cried your way out. That was just a taste of what I could do to you, Ian. All I did was ask the 5,000 people in attendance how many people banged your wife. It's not my fault every single one of them rose their hand. If you're scared of that, Ian, if you're scared of words, what do you think it's going to be like when you step in a steel cage with chaos? You just went life and death with a guy that does this part-time and is a busboy at Outback. Dude serves bloomin' onions for a living, and you went to a split decision with that guy? Now you want Donald Trump's favorite fighter? That's a big step up in competition, Junior. You're biting off more than you can chew. You know what? I'm a giving man. I'm a kind man. I like to give everyone a chance. So everybody knows, Ian, what's in it for you. But what's in it for me? Tell me, why do I gotta go down in the rankings to fight some Casper the Ghost looking Irish kid who has a gold digging wife? Let me teach you the art of the deal, Ian. Let's come to a compromise. If you can meet these 3 stipulations, we gotta fight. Stipulation number 1. You and that gold digging whore got to turn your Instagram comments back on. And if you turn them off before the fight, you forfeit the fight. If you turn them off during fight week or after I beat your ass, you forfeit your purse. Stipulation number 2. Ian, we've heard you cry and beg on your knees, but we all know that you're not the boss and you don't wear the pants in the relationship. Layla, you got 60 seconds to convince me and the people why this fight needs to happen. So put your husband in the corner, get on your hands and knees, and beg. Now for stipulation number 3, my personal favorite. As you all might have noticed, something's been missing from my MyBookie promos lately. That's because I've been saving that spot for a special someone. Layla, you want to be a star? You want the spotlight? I got it for you, sweetie. You want your 15 seconds of fame, Layla? I'll give you your 15 seconds of fame right here for America's Pick of the Week. After I beat your husband, because that's a foregone conclusion, I will beat him. He's going to sit in the corner just like he does with all that cuck stuff you guys do, and he's going to watch while you get your 15 seconds of fame. Ball's in your court now, cuck boy. I'll have my lawyers draft up the papers. You got 24 hours to respond. We'll see if you're about that life.
That may have been a 10-4 in favour of Colby Covington. What a savage call out. Because anybody who's seen my videos for the very short time I've been on YouTube will know was not impressed with Ian Garry's performance whatsoever against Jeff Neal. It was well controlled, yes, but there was nothing that separated him from Jeff Neal, literally, other than a little bit of extra volume. And that was it. And his attitude afterwards was just delusion of grandeur to an extreme. Now, Colby Covington is also delusional. His performance against Leon Edwards was disgraceful given how much trash talk he spoke leading up to the fight. But I give credit where credit is due. If Ian Garry is able to beat somebody like a Colby Covington, I'll give him credit. If he is able to fight for the World Championship, which I wasn't sure about in that video where I spoke about his delusions of grandeur, then I'll hold my hands up and say I was wrong. If he beats whoever is world champion, I'll say, okay, I was wrong. But he hasn't proven to me that he's going to do that. Colby Covington, on the other hand, say what you want about him, he has, for the most part, backed up his trash talk, because the stoppage in the first Kamaru Usman fight was a bad one. Mark Goddard really dropped the ball. The second fight, it should have been a draw. Now, I've got no problem scoring the fight for Kamaru Usman, because not every round is, again, easy to score when you're watching it live, but I did think that Colby won the last 3 rounds, lost the first 2. Second round was a 10-8, so I felt it should have been a draw. And that, again, was not a title shot that Colby Covington had earned, but the first one he got such a raw deal, and he had to re-earn the title shot that he had already earned, which, by the way, went to Kamaru Usman, who had done well, but had just beaten opponents who Colby Covington had already beaten in Damian Maia and Rafael dos Anjos. So I wasn't hugely upset about him getting an immediate shot after beating a washed-up Tyron Woodley. I was more disappointed by far with Jorge Masvidal, who I liked more at the time, getting a title shot after coming off a loss to Usman. Did Colby Covington deserve the title shot against Leon Edwards? 100% no. Was it a disgraceful title shot? Yes. Was it a complete waste of time because he didn't even try, and again, he wasted an opportunity which he was not even deserving of? Yes, it was. But I'm, again, objective. I give people credit where credit is due. And this call out of Ian Garry was excellent, because Ian Garry has asked for this. He has, again, delusions of grandeur despite not achieving what Colby Covington has achieved. And I know there's people like Ariel Helwani who think for some strange reason that Ian Garry will sweep Colby Covington when they fight. I mean, has Ian Garry showed anything that he can beat somebody of the caliber of Colby Covington, who may have lost fire, but certainly hasn't lost his competitiveness? Because look how he's acting in this video. Look how he's calling Ian Garry out. And plus, who actually thinks that Ian Garry will be the one to stop Colby Covington's takedowns if Colby Covington is back to his old ways? Because Ian Garry is not strong. He doesn't even look strong. And his takedowns, again, what has he done at top level, or actually world level period, to prove that he can deal with somebody like Colby Covington? Neil Magny, who has been beaten decisively by every top welterweight he has faced. I mean, I'm not convinced, folks, that Ian Garry beats Colby Covington. So I think the fight should happen, and again, I love this call out. So let me know what you guys think down below. And Colby Covington back to form. Let's not beat around the bush, guys. It is fun. And even if you hate Colby Covington, what better way for Colby Covington to try and win the fans back by fighting somebody who is more hated than he is? I mean, it's brilliant if you ask me. Absolute genius. Drop your thoughts down below. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more, as always.